Hey guys, your favorite podcast is back. We are joined here with different generations, such as Gen Z, Millennial, and Gen X. I'm Linds, the host, and I'm also a Gen Z. Today's topic is about AI, but first, let's introduce ourselves.
Hi, my name is Stephanie. I'm a millennial and I graduated from Marquette back in 2013.
Hello, I'm Sergio, the Generation X. And I did not graduate from Marquette. I was a Wildcat from Eureka. I'm not going to say the year because I'm old.
All right. So, what do you guys know about AI? Because I know it's kind of like a warped thing.
I don't know too much. I know it means artificial intelligence, and I feel like it's just like Google and robots. Yeah.
I don't want to brag or sound like, I don't know, not modest, but I'm a computer nerd and I loved like computers before they were cool. But for example, what I do know about like AI is like, hey Google, what's artificial intelligence?
According to Wikipedia, artificial intelligence is intelligence, perceiving, synthesizing, and inferring information, demonstrated by machines as opposed to intelligence displayed by non-human animals and humans.
So,
Example tasks in which this is done include speech recognition, computer vision, translation between languages, as well as other mappings of inputs.
So basically, Google is an example of AI. It's to put into simple terms, I feel like it's just a computer trying to copy or mimic person's like emotions, and it's like weirdly getting better just because our technology is like advancing, and like back then it wasn't like that much of a thing. Like I'm assuming like you guys did not have these conversations like, hey, let's talk about artificial intelligence.
I mean,
like
well, I remember
so.
when computers first started talking, like when Steve Jobs first introduced the Macintosh, it would actually, in the computer voice say, hello, I'm a Mac. And that was kind of like, sparked that sort of like, oh, wow, like,
It was
personified
big for its
a
time.
computer and also makes it feel like it's alive. So I feel like that, like, I mean, what's happening now is it's like something you would see in sci-fi movies like, 20 years ago. And it's weird.
Yeah.
And it's almost, I mean, like, there's something called the Turing test, which is from the computer, the father of computers. I don't know if you've seen Imitation Game, but the Turing test is basically a test where if it basically like if it mimics like a human where someone wouldn't be able to tell like whether or not it was a computer. I'm not really good at explaining it, but basically like if you pass a Turing test, it means like it's kind of like AI enough to like trick your
Okay.
grandma to think that it's a person. I don't.
It's
That's not the
able
best.
to like
Yeah.
mimic human.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
Emotions
even
and
like this
behavior.
one video I saw. I don't know if Jubilee made it or something, but it was basically like 7 people were in a room and they were in a group chat and they were basically trying to eliminate whoever was the AI. And so they would text and stuff, and like some people's responses would make them think that like they were like the computer or whatever. But in the end, like literally the AI was like in like third place. Like it was scary because he just kept like going on. Like it was like, so they couldn't see each other, and the AI was like trying to text like a human, and they were asking like, oh, how do you feel about emotions, or how do you feel about sadness and all that stuff. And then he would make up some stuff like, oh, when my dog died or something, like just something like a
Yeah.
human would say. And
Yeah.
it's just like really creepy to think about how advanced it's like going now.
No, I
Yeah.
think that's exactly the point that I was trying to make because the level of like advancements that they made to the AI, like from the computer just talking like a voice to like literally they are. I mean, there's like my brother and my sister are both programmer nerds, and there's like some app where you can actually like it starts to write poetry.
At my work, my supervisor, she did show me that there's this, I don't know if it's an app or like a website. I forget what it's called, but you can go on and tell them. I think your brother kind of told us about this too.
Yeah, that's what
It's
they were
like
showing.
it's like, oh, you can tell them like I need this kind of paper. It's got to be like this. It's from this kind of person and everything, and it's got to be like this, and then it'll like create something for you. and stuff. I don't know if that's very similar
Yeah,
to AI, but it's kind of pretty like I think pretty crazy how it's like you can.
Have you seen those commercials for Grammarly? Basically, like that kind of. It's on. I don't know. I see it every time I watch YouTube videos. Like install Grammarly. It'll help you with your papers and like change the tone. So like I mean, to me,
I
it's
use
like
Grammarly.
Grammarly
Really?
helps a lot, but what a good example. Have you guys ever seen the movie Her? It's like it came out in
No.
2018.
But I know
It's
Scarlett
like
Johansson's in it.
yeah, and the
Joaquin
guy.
Phoenix.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite movies. It's like I think my favorite or second favorite movie. But basically, it's about this guy who falls in love with an AI, because this AI is trying to like basically portray the feelings and emotions as a human would, and she literally talks like a human. Like everything that you hear her say, like it's literally like if you're talking to someone else.
Have you heard of? Sorry, I'm addicted to Instagram lately.
Wait, I wanted to keep talking about.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But basically he like falls in love with her because in this AI thingy, like this system that they put out, like you're not supposed to fall in love with them because they're basically just meant there to be like your friend or whatever.
Oh yeah, like companion.
And yeah, so and since she's an AI, she's talking to millions of other people like around the world, and he like finds this out, and he's just like heartbroken because it's like
yeah.
he's like he thought he had like
Betrayed.
a connection, and then she's like, no, I still love you, but like it was just like I don't know, it's just crazy because
Also, like, her
she
job.
even herself, like she was trying to like become human, or like she just wanted to have that feeling of human, like since she like.
Yeah.
Have you ever? Oh, keep going.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I'm a
okay.
free
You can
guy.
go.
No, I was gonna say, have you ever seen the Disney Channel original movie Pixel Perfect?
No, I have not.
Well, it's great, but it's similar.
Millennials.
You watched it. You I showed you it
I was
because
gonna-
it's like it's this like
He plays a
super
pop star.
yeah, it's this super like techie guy like Sergio who like I guess is really big into music like Sergio, and he creates like this because they're like trying to find like a singer for a band, and he creates like this basically like it's like a projector, but it's like
It's an AI pop star.
yeah, and it's like
but
it's like
Oh.
just all fake, but he gets feelings for her, and she's also confused because she's like trying to be like wants to be human too, and wants to be real, wants to feel things
Yeah.
and stuff, but she's not, she can't even go in the light.
Yeah.
But
Can we get into conspiracy stuff about AI?
Um,
Because I mean I'll go on for a long time, but
I was talking about Disney Channel.
it's connected.
This is a very
It's connected to so basically like what scares me about AI, and I'm kind of replying to what the movie, I haven't seen Her, but that concept of like basically like emotional manipulation through like computers, like if they're smart enough to like get into like that deep level where it's like they pass a Turing test where we believe like this person fell in love with like a non-existing thing. It's like it was all in his mind. Like, do you think there's gonna be psychological warfare like with like I don't know, like someone told me like TikTok and like other apps, like not only they can like they have your microphone on to see if you laugh at videos, or I don't know if there's like now facial recognition data that like looks at your emotional reactions to videos, but I don't know where, basically like I'm just curious, like 10 years from now, like are they gonna psychologically like control us with our phones?
I think they're already doing that.
Yeah. I
But
mean, in
no,
some
I think
ways.
I know right now it's just like I've been seeing so many more like AI stuff, and it just scares me because like at first I would just like kind of think about it since like the movie, like I was like, I wonder if there's ever gonna be something similar to that. But like now we have things like Google and like
Yeah.
Alexa and all that stuff. And
can
sorry,
pick
she's
things
looking
up.
down on us guys.
Yeah.
Literally.
And but yeah, it's just like it's scary because it's like we
Yeah.
don't know anything about technology, like at least that we think we know, but like there's like companies and groups of people running this stuff, and like it's just
Yeah, we don't know their moral ethics, and
Well,
like literally every science fiction movie, iRobot, AI, like they all kind of end in an apocalypse.
Well, I think
Yeah.
that's why. Well, especially because you actually like like learning like tech and are really techy.
I used to
Well-
love technology. Now I'm afraid of it.
Well, no, that's what I was about to say. Is like because you love it so much and you've learned so much about it. Now it's like because you know what they do and how it works, you're like scared.
It's kind of like Jurassic Park.
It's kind of like religion.
Or maybe religion, but like how like they don't think about like, well, we can build this, but should we build it? Like and then they get all eaten. It's kind of like similar.
And I think me and Sergio have had this conversation a lot. It's like when social media and all this stuff like was created, like YouTube, like they didn't have this like secretive like, oh my god, this is gonna take over the world, like everyone's gonna get addicted to this, we're gonna create iPhones. Like they never had like that intention of doing it.
Yeah.
It's just our human, like we did that basically. Like we're the ones who got addicted to it, and we just craved more and we wanted more things. And I think that's the scary thing that like it's like AI is basically just kind of our fault too, because
you made me think of Bo Burnham's the Netflix episode or the comedy thing called Inside, because he has that song like "Welcome to the Internet," and it's like talks about literally that escalation of like I mean
how you just
look
like
up that song,
looking for something, and just like that immediate response or stimuli or whatnot. Like I definitely think it's dangerous. Like even though I know pretty little about artificial intelligence, I've never felt like it was something I was like, it was never something I was like excited for or anything. It just kind of, it made me cautious, but I'm also kind of more of a hippie. And like,
what can I ask you guys a question? So like,
no,
no,
one
you
thing,
cannot.
like basically one thing that I think about is like, will they ever be able to replicate? Like I don't think there's something in humanity that I don't think computers can ever replace.
Cool.
People were talking about in the comment section with the video I was talking about. They were like, overall, like it's never gonna get to the point where humans talk. Like it's never gonna understand our
There's
minds.
always gonna be
It's always just like
like have you seen
I'll show you guys a video or something, but like they're doing a lot of AI covers with like famous people like Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift, and they like literally make them say whatever they want and it sounds exactly like their voice. And it's like it's scary because I like heard about that a couple years ago, and like I think Shane Dawson, do you guys know who Shane Dawson is?
I've heard of
He
him,
would do a lot of conspiracy theories and say how like AI is basically gonna like take over one day and just like people are gonna use it, and then like political figures are gonna be scared to even talk because they can literally use that. Like a lot of people do that now. They like use it to make them say like the dumbest things ever. And like even songs now, like they literally, you can put it on this app. It's almost going on the App Store actually, which is scary because it's gonna have so many access to people. Like right now I think it's only on Windows, but you put it in and you put an artist or whatever, and then you can write a song or you can put any lyrics that you want and you can make them say whatever. Like it's just terrifying because it sounds exactly like them. Like,
and you just like, I don't know.
I mean, that could be used for bad.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you just wonder like, why? Like,
they make
why?
Well,
there's
I'm
this.
sure it's used for.
Why is it?
There's
needed?
a lot of money, obviously, that went behind a lot. That's what's scary is someone can take your just by having a video of you, they can almost like make
or
fake
recording.
media.
Yeah, like an audio recording, and they can make it. It can just ruin. It kind of ruin someone's reputation.
Well, that's why there's a lot of money behind.
Great album, by the way.
I remember when the Sound app came out, like when Obama was president, just to mimic a voice. But like now, it's when they can mimic a face.
And it wasn't that accurate. Like you could kind of tell, like it was like shaky. But like now, it sounds so real that I'm just like, what?
That's why I kind of like to go back to old ways where we can see like our faces or hear. Calling people on the phone is just like. I miss that when people used to call each other because then they could like hear their voice. And
You gonna cry now?
and then you can hear they're gonna cry because then you're
well, I mean, like,
because when you
didn't you have to put coins in to call people?
Oh yeah, remember when there was payphones? Yeah.
Now there's like barely any. Like I see some like at like the airport or like.
Or they're just like empty. Like
Superman
they got
still uses
Yeah.
payphones. Do you guys know who Superman is? My old.
No, I don't know. So yeah, that was like our different
Well,
opinions on AI.
yeah.
We're kind of the similar.
I was gonna say I feel like we're all in fear. No,
Yeah, we're all in
No,
fear.
Humanity will.
We don't know anything,
Yeah.
but we do have different experiences with like knowing about AI. Like
oh yeah, I feel like you
Stephanie-
definitely know a lot more. Like,
probably because I'm a Gen Z and like
Yeah.
I hear about this stuff all the time. But like
and you probably had more access, like even through the years. Like you talked about how it's like when you were younger, you like
yeah,
would
even
see
like
stuff.
in
I only
20
had
like in
Disney Channel.
2018 I knew what AI was, and like Stephanie barely found out like
Yeah.
the deeper
I
levels
remember
of
before
AI.
we had cell phones, so at least I
Well,
know we can.
But
survive.
you kind of like studied it too.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
Yeah,
that's
he went
always
to
been a
college for that.
but I wanted to
Personal
say
interest.
for if there's a human that listens to our podcast, I just want to say that love conquers all, and don't be afraid of the robots taking over.
Fear is healed by love.
I think
and
humanity is
humanity.
fine right now. Not really, but
It's better
It's
than.
AI.
it's got its ups and downs.
so that was Jen's pod. We'll be back with you guys soon. Alrighty.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you for listening.
Generation Pod.
Jen's pod.